Today we witness real-world asset history as BlackRock's ICS U.S. Treasury money market fund is tokenized on Hedera. What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. Super excited to be with Genfinity to tackle all things crypto with you guys. As well as myself, I'm streaming these across a couple of different accounts. This is pretty massive news. We'll get into a little bit of how big BlackRock is here. I think most people probably know, but this just coming out a couple of hours ago. I'm going to read through some of these. There is kind of a pretense and some history here. Now, BlackRock is using a platform called ArcaX, and ArcaX is tokenization engine. We've got a governing board member of Hedera that kind of ties in with this as well, which is Aberdeen. There has been tokenization that occurred in the past through Aberdeen and a Lux money market fund. But let me hop into this. This is the announcement and the news of the day. Today, we witness real-world asset history as BlackRock's ICS U.S. Treasury money market fund is tokenized on the HBAR Network and Hedera. This is through ArcaX and Onera.io. Obviously, this is a major milestone for not only the Hedera ecosystem, but the entire Web3 space. BlackRock is a monster. Asset management by bringing the world's largest asset manager on chain. I'm going to go through this article. This just came out, so I'm reading some of this in real time with you guys here. This is through the HBAR Foundation. ArcaX increasing tokenized money market fund offerings on Hedera. This is the 23rd of April, so by the time this gets out there, obviously this is new news. ArcaX is the first FCA or Financial Conduct Authority regulated digital asset exchange, broker, and custodian. They announced they're expanding the range of fund shares they offer in tokenized form with the provision of BlackRock ICS U.S. Treasury Money Market Fund in partnership with the HBAR Foundation. This builds on its launch of tokenized access to Aberdeen's money market fund last year, which ArcaX has created on both the Hedera and Ethereum blockchains. Now, I want to get into this a little bit. I tried looking this up before I did this video. I remember seeing something back in the day where it did say both Ethereum and Hedera, but the actual tokenization engine stuff was only running on Hedera. This says Hedera and Ethereum, so I'm assuming it's both. This additional BlackRock money market fund, along with existing offerings, are all available directly on the ArcaX platform, as well as through connected networks. The first transaction of tokenized shares of the BlackRock money market fund, which was also tokenized on Hedera, the open source proof of stake public ledger, was completed across the Onera Fin P2P digital asset network. Going to get into Onera here in a second as well, because that's a new name for me. In the current high interest rate, et cetera, et cetera. This is gigantic. I'm not going to read through this whole thing. I'm going to go into some more stuff here in a second. BlackRock, obviously huge. I believe this is the money market fund. This is the ICS U.S. Treasury fund here. If you want to go look it up, feel free to take a look. And this is kind of going back in the past here. So I guess kind of to hop into this first, maybe we get a little bit into BlackRock. I've done some deeper videos in BlackRock before, but the money market fund aspect is one thing. BlackRock obviously has their Aladdin platform. I believe the Aladdin platform ties into Coinbase and some other stuff as far as an announcement last year. If you do enough digging into the Aladdin platform through BlackRock, $21.6 trillion or some of the estimates. And I think that that's through like a third of the highest net worth clients that are participating within the Aladdin platform. But you can see how big kind of the Aladdin system is here. In fact, estimated that over, again, $21.6 trillion currently managed through Aladdin. This is just one platform here. I want to share with you this because I did this in a video recently as well. Now, keep in mind some of the names here. BlackRock, ArcaX, Aberdeen. ArcaX tokenization roadmap, and I touched base on this in my last video, but I think it's super relevant to bring back up again. ArcaX tokenization roadmap is not publicly on their website, I don't believe, but if you do some sleuthing and due diligence and some targeted searches online, you can find it. And this is what they have in their tokenization roadmap. And again, I will say these aren't my words. These are the words of ArcaX through their tokenization roadmap. And it's, if you believe as we do that this means all asset classes everywhere can benefit from tokenization will move on chain in the medium term. The market opportunity is actually every tradable asset class in existence. I also shared kind of some of the advisors of ArcaX here. You've got David Buckley, who's the chairman of the Royal Bank of Canada. You've got former chief strategy officer at the London Stock Exchange. You've got managing director of prime finance at HSBC. You get the picture here, right? To bring it back into some of the stuff that happened last year, June 8th, 2023, ArcaX tokenizes investment in Aberdeen's multi-billion Lux Money Market Fund. This is ArcaX, again, the FCA-regulated digital asset exchange, broker, and custodian. Today announced, this is back in June of last year, it created a tokenized representation of its interests in the Aberdeen Standard Liquidity Fund, Sterling Fund, Aberdeen's flagship multi-billion pound money market fund, leveraging the Hedera Hashgraph distributed ledger technology, for which Aberdeen is also a governing council member. Blackrock and Hedera, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what else to say. This is pretty crazy. Obviously, Ethereum as well. You can go back to the original article here. If you guys want to read through this entire thing for Blackrock, again, this just came out today. Obviously, pretty massive here. ArcaX announces launch of real-world tokenization engine. This is going back into March of last year, so there's always a little bit of a timeline. You've got the tokenization engine through ArcaX being announced in March of last year. You've got Aberdeen tokenizing their Lux Money Market Fund through ArcaX's tokenization engine in June of last year. Today, we have Blackrock using the tokenization engine of ArcaX to tokenize a money market fund on Hedera and Ethereum today. So that's 2024, obviously. This stuff is just wild to watch what's kind of going on behind the scenes. If you want to check out ArcaX, go to arcax.com here. And yeah, I mean, our asset manager, Aberdeen. Now, this is interesting too, is I believe Aberdeen is the largest private investor of ArcaX as well. Aberdeen, also a governing board member of Hedera. If you're not familiar of the Hedera governing board, comprised of the world's leading organizations, Aberdeen, APP, Australian Payments Plus, which I believe is a combination of FTPOS, which was like the ACH system of Australia and New Zealand, and one other entity. Enough said kind of about the governing board here. It's obviously massive, but Aberdeen, the largest investor in ArcaX, ArcaX, the tokenization engine. This is Omnia. Let me see if I can find Omnia here, wherever I had it. Yeah, not Omnia, Onera. So this ties into this announcement as well. This leveraged Onera and this is the platform here, their Fin P2P router or peer-to-peer router. I haven't had enough time to do digging into this, but I certainly am going to. You can look at the APIs. You can look, here's their trading platform. You can look at kind of the tranche of products, which is an execution engine, a digital securities protocol, peer-to-peer interface. You can look at platform adapters, which is, I'm assuming, how it ties in Hedera, things like that. So Hedera definitely included into the platform adapters for blockchains, DLTs, and central ledgers. Curious which ledgers interact when it comes to central ledgers and DLTs. Onera adapters, so Corda, or maybe this is under Onera adapters, Corda, Ethereum, etc. But yeah, check out Onera as well. Again, I'll say the beginning here. I want to get a little bit into a big announcement coming out of Aleph 0 that happened a couple of weeks ago too, or about a week ago. ArcaX increasing tokenized money market funds on Hedera. This is Blackrock. So I don't know. Sometimes I get surprised even at some of the stuff that comes out on a consistent basis. And this, I'm sure that there's been work behind the scenes. We have had the ability in the past to interview Duncan Moore from Aberdeen. I'm going to try to get him onto another space or interview, or maybe we'll do an interview on here or something like that, because this is pretty crazy. This is back in December. Asset manager Aberdeen crypto exchange ArcaX strive for pole position and race to tokenize traditional finance. There's a lot here. If you start digging into Aberdeen and ArcaX, yeah. Now, to put into context here, Aberdeen has $626 billion of assets under management, okay? They're a governing board member of Hedera. That $15 billion Lux Money Market Fund was tokenized last year. Now you've got the Blackrock Money Market Fund. That's just a drop in the bucket of liquidity that an asset manager like Aberdeen actually holds under management. So I don't know. You make your own assumptions, do your own math, do your own whatever you want to do. Not financial advice. Certainly don't want to get into the speculative aspects of individual assets here. But when you look at real world assets and tokenization and what's going to be coming on chain, certainly on Hedera, certainly on Ethereum, you're already seeing it, but other networks as well. And you've got ArcaX and their tokenization roadmap literally saying that they believe that every tradable asset class in existence is the market opportunity here. You can start kind of figuring out where this might go over time here. So pretty crazy stuff. I wanted to kind of bring this up. This is U.S. presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has proposed to put the nation's 2024 budget on a public blockchain. Not sure how that's going to go over in 2024. I would doubt that something like that occurs. I did find that a little bit interesting, though. I do think that obviously we do need a lot more transparency as far as what goes on across government and spending. But I also know that when you get into like financial institutions and things like that, they really don't have any incentivization to not be private. A lot of that stuff is proprietary info and all the other crap that comes along with that. So this came out, though. This was maybe a week ago. This is Aleph partnering with Saudi Telecom Bahrain to advance blockchain and decentralized physical infrastructure networks, or DPIN, across the Gulf region, which I thought was pretty cool news. Aleph becoming a Perling Path partner of STC Bahrain, the leading telecom of the Gulf region, to explore DPIN use cases. The fastest growing and innovative telecom operator in Bahrain. Company is a trailblazer that already renowned for their innovative digital advancements, and this collaboration with Aleph is set to bolster Saudi Telecom Bahrain's Web3 initiatives that will improve the breadth and depth of the experiences that are offered to STC's customers. I did find some overlap there. So we had the opportunity to, through Genfinity, if you are on Twitter, go to @Genfinity.io. We had the opportunity to interview Deutsche Telekom in tandem with Aleph. And if you look into STC Bahrain, there's some collaborations with Deutsche Telekom and STC, or Saudi Telecom. So I'm assuming there's probably some overlap there. Deutsche Telekom is a validator of the Aleph network too. So Aleph joining STC's Perling Path initiative. This is a Web3 launchpad program designed to accelerate Web3 adoption in the Middle East. Perling Path focuses on integrating blockchain infrastructure to address regional challenges and enhance economic growth. Just thought that was a pretty cool announcement. So shout out to the Aleph team. Again, I am just sometimes, like, I feel like in this space we get desensitized to the type of news that we see. I mean, I look back a handful of years ago and we would never be getting these types of announcements. And every once in a while, though, you get an announcement that comes out of real world adoption that still kind of like shakes you to the core. That's like, wow, this stuff is like all the stuff that everybody's been researching and talking about, without getting into the speculation and all that other stuff that I know a lot of people tend to focus on. But like real world adoption, this is just absolutely wild. You've got a literally Blackrock, one of the major institutions globally, arguably controls a portion of the world, or alongside a couple of other organizations. You've got them literally tokenizing a money market fund on Hedera and Ethereum. So through ArcaX, obviously, I'm sure there's some crossover with some of the relationships with Aberdeen. Like I said, Aberdeen, I think the largest private investor, at least at that time, into ArcaX as well. Crazy stuff, though, guys. And yeah, again, if you missed it, today we witnessed real-world asset history as BlackRock's ICS U.S. Treasury Money Market Fund is tokenized on the HBAR Network, aka Hedera, with ArcaX and Onera, marking a major milestone in asset management by bringing the world's largest asset manager on chain. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you when I talk to you. Bye.